I've said before that part of this is kind of experimental setup sometimes, and today I changed a couple of things again. This time in particular, getting little shortcut keys set up and stuff so I can quit looking over here trying to mess with it and everything else. Yeah, simplify. So, today in particular, I got something that's, well, irking me. Haters, in general. Just haters. Be the best way to describe it. And the ALS Challenge is a great example of this. See, we've almost institutionalized the idea of hate here in America. Anything that's different or that we don't like, we automatically hate it. It's not that we dislike a thing anymore. It's that we become active about it. See, disliking a thing is, hey, do you like Star Wars? Well, I don't like it. Okay, see, that's a passive thing. Hating something is, Star Wars sucks, blah 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 blah. That's a more active process. That's hating, and that's what's starting to happen a little bit with the ALS Challenge. And I'm going to give you a great example. And all right, hang on. Gotta get fancy with this. Hold on. Let's do technology here. And nope, it didn't work. And there we go. Okay. See, somebody posted this today, and I'll be honest. After I read it, and I looked at the person who's done this before, who's posted this sort of thing, and they're very, I don't know if they're a confused person or what, but they're somebody that just, I see a lot of this sort of stuff come out of. And they dislike this and dislike that and hate this and hate that. And I finally had enough, and I just unfriended them after this. There's a certain point. It's not that I unfriend people just for being a bit negative. You know what? Everybody has bad days. Everybody has bad spots in their life. Everybody has times where the world just kind of weighs them down. And it's okay. It is. We should probably keep a little better focus on trying to be positive about things, but hey. So anyways, here it is. And I'll just read this caption for you. Ice Bucket fraud. See right there, we're going to start off negative. And by the way, the name of this site was Political Ears. I don't know who they think they're listening to, but trust me, looking at their sidebar, yeah. So anyways, ALS Foundation admits that 73% of donations are not used for ALS research. Well, that I have no surprise on this at all. There's other things that go on with stuff like this. I mean, you've got the people that have to be paid. You have even if you have volunteers, you still have support that has to go with the volunteers, for instance. You have education, you have fundraising, and these are guys that usually pull in about $5 million. Right now, the last count that I saw, they were at $100 million for having to be pulled in. That's pretty impressive, considering it's just a viral video that people challenge each other, or they donate, or some people do both. In fact, actually, one of the pieces of hate that comes up quite often is, well, people are just do the Ice Bucket Challenge instead of donating so they get out of spending the money. You know, I already have seen people who said, hey, I challenge you, and I'm donating such and such. It happens. So, yes, some people are using it as an out, and some people are using it as a piece of fun, and some people are actually doing both. So, whatever. But it's another reason for people to hate it, because, yeah. So anyways, I'm gonna scroll down here a little bit. So they make this good inflammatory top here. Let's get down to the breakdown. Expenses. Start off with they say that the expenses are out of this world. Now, yeah, okay, 7%. 7% of their expenses go to administration. 1.9 million. Actually, that's not that bad. 7 million goes to research. Patient and community services. That is 5 million. 8.5 million to public and professional education. Fundraising, 3 million. Look, none of this is unreasonable. Of course, now you'll notice. I want you to notice the type of site I'm on. We got this weird seduction trick will quickly turn them on. This should be banned. Get some cash for surveys so we can kind of tell the sort of quality site that we're on anyways. Oh, and just in case you didn't think that this was clickbait overall, just in case, right here. Click here if you've already completed the Ice Bucket Challenge. Well, this is I Survived the Ice Bucket Challenge t-shirt. With, by the way, if you look up here, there is their referral code. So what they did is they used a piece of hate to get us to click through. And because we're so stupid, and I do mean that kind of rudely, because we're so stupid, we'll click through it and we'll believe it, and we'll believe that headline. Oh my God, we're being duped. Okay, I want you to turn your gaze over to the left, to the right-hand side of the thing. Shock. Gang members reveal Fed agents paying them to start riots. Okay, I have no belief that that's happening. ISIS living at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Okay, there's a rule. There's a rule of writing headlines. If you can end it with a question mark, the answer is automatically no. So you can tell what quality of site this is. So, yeah. And so it's an inflammatory site designed very much to get people's attention and to get them to click in here. So anyways, yeah, but all of this stuff, research, yep, that's very important. Patient and community services, education, and fundraising. Those are also very important aspects to any nonprofit organization that's trying to build awareness of a problem and trying to build up a solution. Because we think of this portion where it says research as being the end-all be-all, that we're going to cure it tomorrow. If we had all of this money and it all went into research, it'd be cured tomorrow, right? Well, that's not really how it works. See, so some of it needs to be spent to actually help people. Right here, patient community services. That's to help people. This part here, public and professional education. Well, before the Ice Bucket Challenge, a lot of people didn't even know what the hell ALS was. Previously, most of the time you would have heard it referred to as Lou Gehrig's disease. But that's kind of it's no longer no longer said that way. I don't know why. I've never asked. I've never looked it up. So, for the public to do things like help others, there has to be education involved. For fundraising, you got to have this to get this big slice of the pie. It takes money to make money. That's just part of the rules. That's how all of these games are played. So I watched as somebody just absolutely lambasted them because, oh, well, I'm getting duped. Well, it wasn't getting duped. ALS never said, hey, we're spending 100% of this money on research. In fact, most people just say, hey, I'm calling you out, you to do the Ice Bucket Challenge to help support ALS. It doesn't give any sort of parameters for it. And furthermore, ALS doesn't control all these people who are saying this stuff. They have no control over it. What are they supposed to do? Take down every video where somebody doesn't say it properly? Or even worse, just say, well, you don't get to do this anymore at all. No, it's not the way it works. But this is a symptom. This is a symptom of something much larger that's going on. And by the way, there's a whole lot of other types of hate. In fact, I'll go ahead and cover one more haters thing real quick because I find it amusing. See if I can find. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother. Basically, it boils down to, this whole challenge has probably used up about 6 million gallons. So then it comes in the idea, and there's a hashtag. Lost the hashtag name. Drought shaming. The idea that since you're doing this, you're causing more of a drought in California. All right, let me put this in perspective for you. For the first 3 weeks of the Ice Bucket Challenge, it's estimated that there was about 6 million gallons used. That's a lot of water, isn't it? We think of that, and we think of tons of water. Now let me put it to perspective for you. On a single day, and say that was in 3 weeks, on a single day in the United States, It runs an estimated 37 billion gallons of water. If you want to talk about water being wasted, let's talk about you sprinkling your lawn. If we want to talk about water wasted, let's talk about the fact that you're probably not using a gray water system for your toilet. You're probably not using a recirc system on your shower. There's a ton of options, and my wife and I have talked about this before. It's the ideal things we'd like to do is have a gray water system for the toilets, because we're not going to drink out of it. We don't need fresh, clean water out of a toilet. We don't. We in America waste so much amazing amounts of water every day. So anyways, in perspective, 37 billion gallons versus, well, I can't quite, we'll say about 6 million gallons. The ALS water challenge is not hurting anybody. In fact, actually, in the end, it's probably helping a lot. And some of the water, at least some of the water that was used for it, goes back into the system anyways. Goes into the lakes and streams. That's fine there. Stuff that goes out into the ocean or evaporates. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. Now, I will say this: if we were talking about 1 billion gallons being used a day on this, that would be time to reconsider how we're doing things. But it's not. But why would we take this and turn this into a big deal? Why would we turn 6 million gallons of water into a big deal compared to everything else we waste in our life? We'll start off with, it's a sort of reverse activism. We feel like we're doing something by saying something about it. I saw one friend who posted about this. I just rolled my eyes. And just, I'm not even going to comment. Not going to do it because it doesn't matter. I know how wrong the person is right off the bat. And yet they thought this was a great idea. They thought that was a great thing to post. And they felt that they were doing something because they didn't like the Ice Bucket Challenge. Ironically, they ended up taking the Ice Bucket Challenge anyways. They didn't like the Ice Bucket Challenge. So then we're going to do everything they can to be mean about it. And that's the thing about it. This is what we're doing. We're not just saying, man, I really don't like this thing. It's a stupid idea. No, we become active about it. I don't like this, and they spent 6 million gallons of water. That could have been used, that could have been used on my lawn. Yeah, because the irony here is that I'm sure every person who's complained about it goes in and takes a whiz in fresh water. Seriously. You're turning fresh water into something that has to be processed and cleaned before it can ever touch the environment again. Think about this a minute. Think about what you're complaining about. Yeah. And again, like I said, front lawn. How much water gets wasted on that? I don't water my lawn at all, period. Start off with, if I water my lawn, I have to mow it more often. If I have to mow it more often, I have to waste gas and time. If I had my choice, it would all be garden out there, Something useful. Instead of being green just for the sake of looking nice for the neighbors, because I don't personally care. I could be, turning it into food that I could give away to the Lord's Diner, which is just down the way. I could do useful things with it. Now, do I look at the next person and say, oh, I hate all these people that watered it? No. That's what they chose to do. If their stuff was actually impacting the rest of Wichita, Kansas, I might be worried about it. But as a matter of fact, in Wichita, Kansas, if we start to have water supply problems, they actually start doing water conservation and things like that. There's a system in place to prevent it from becoming too much of a problem. However, I will say that system in place is not as complete as it should be. Anyways, so what motivates these people? Well, that's a great question. I don't know. I don't understand why, just because something has become popular, they have to hate it. Now, there's a little bit of hipsterism involved. Because you're not part of the crowd, you must be better than the crowd. It's and yes, there's the thing I bag on, hipsters. People get upset because of black men wearing their pants too far down. Okay, so what? We wore tore up concert T-shirts and tore up jeans when I was in high school. Actually, we weren't even allowed to do it in high school, but during that time period, and people bagged on us for wearing tore up jeans. We thought it was cool. They think that what they're doing is cool. We hate other things that aren't what we are. It's the basis for racism. It's the basis for sexism. It's the basis for so many things. And we spend so much time and energy and effort just hating on everything. And there's not a good solution. I mean, I'd love to be able to say, can't we all just get along? But that's not how it works, unfortunately. It's a concerted effort on the part of any one given person, to not hate everything else. Take modern music, for instance. It's easy for people to hate on, say, for instance, Justin Bieber. Do I like Bieber's music? Not really. Do I think he's a spoiled brat? No. Everything I've seen seems to indicate it. Do I hate him? Meh. Could care less. He's no more interesting or less interesting, or more of a brat or more of a bad person than, for instance, Led Zeppelin. You do recall, for those of you from that actually listened to music from the 70s, that one of the members of Led Zeppelin kept a 13-year-old girl locked up in his apartment or in his hotel room. Not all these people that we remember from the past are actually good people. So this next generation is no different. You get a bunch of people that just kind of become a little entitled. And yeah, stuff happens. Does that mean that we should support somebody that does it? Absolutely not. That sort of behavior is unacceptable, not because they are doing something we don't, because they're doing something wrong to other people. A good example of that on Justin Bieber spitting on his fans. Doesn't seem like a really wise idea. The truth is if that continues, eventually he's not going to have any. No amount of hate on our part will matter. It's not going to affect the situation. In fact, it's not even going to make us feel better. Because the truth is when we start hating on things, we don't feel better because we hate on it. Actually, to tell you the truth, it just enables us to hate more on other things. Another great example off of Facebook, somebody posted somebody posted a video where it proves that President Obama is the Antichrist. Really? Okay, let me explain. Because it's not possible, because George Bush Jr. was the Antichrist. I've seen a video that proves it. And, well, except that the Clinton was actually the Antichrist. And I saw a website, fairly old one, that proved that. And then Reagan was the Antichrist. And you get the point, though. See, part of the thing I do know is that we act like crabs. See, crabs are an interesting creature. If you throw a crab in a bucket, 5-gallon bucket, it'll find a way to get out. It will climb its way out. It'll work on it. You throw 2 of them in there, and as one starts to climb out, the other one grabs it and pulls it back. See, a bucket of crabs will never escape out of it until you get it too full. And it's almost accidental at that point that they start escaping. Because as one gets higher than the others, they have to conquer it. See, we like to watch people fail. We like to watch people crash and burn. We think Miley Cyrus is awesome in the fact that she's absolutely horrible now. She dresses, like a skank, and she does this, and she does... the truth is she got some manager somewhere that's telling her what to do. Yeah, she's advancing her career. I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't agree with the style. I don't agree with all that. But that's what she's doing. She's following somebody else's instructions on how to stay a star, how to stay in the music business, and how to keep making money at it. And we buy into it. See, because even when we're hating, we're still advertising people. See, if we hate on Justin Bieber, we're still advertising him by saying we hate Justin Bieber. He stays in our conscious. Miley Cyrus, We call her a skank all the time. And guess what? That just means that she stays in the news. In fact, here's the fun part: is that keep hearing noises. I'm not sure what's going on over there. Here's the thing about it. All these things that I've talked about, almost, a lot of them though end up being. And let's go back for just a second here. Oh, this will be freaky. Watch this. Hee hee! Isn't that fun? Anyways, let's go back to this for a second. Like this website. This website's job, entire goal in existence, is to make money. That's it. In fact, actually, this is a little thing that says all prices are in USD. Yeah, this site exists nothing more than make cash. If your hate convinces you that it's time to convinces you to repeat a Facebook link, to retweet it on Twitter, to any of these number of things, you're helping them out. That's all you're doing. You're helping them sell all these products. In fact, and it's interesting to note, and I really hadn't clicked through to the front before, that even the products they sell are actually kind of a negativity thing. Obama bullshit protector set. Actually, that's pretty cool. I used to have one of those type of matches. No trespassing, back off, private property keep out, beware of owner with a big shotgun. So, yeah, not only do they give you negativity, they sell negativity even further. Yeah, and that's just, we forget this. We forget that so much of this stuff is a product. We forget that we're a product. No kidding. We are a product that's bought and sold all the time. Our attention is what buys it. And then we spend our money to continue to support people who hate. We need to change. I'm not saying we're gonna. It's unfortunate. I lead First Geek Congregation, and my idea for what the world needs to be is peace, love, and respect. There ain't a whole lot of any of the above. We got a lot of hate. We got a lot of disrespect. We got a lot of racism and sexism. And there's a great story going on in the game development community right now, where, long story short, I'm going to cap this up real quick though. Gal who was actually fairly powerful. I'm not going to say powerful, but in the public eye in the game development community. Crossed the wrong person for just a little bit, and when they did, now she's at the point of leaving her house because she's getting death threats. This is how much hate we have. This is that some gal online who writes video, who helps develop video games and is a journalist for a living, gets death threats. Now somebody's going to say, "Well, there's this other side of the story." Yeah, there is. There's another side of the story, and that's okay. But you know what? There's no side of the story where death threats are acceptable. Think about this a minute. Don't tell me that there's another side of the story and that it's okay. No. It's okay.